everyone, my name is Sarah and this is Sarah's Creative Corner, my little part of the internet where I talk about all the things that I've been working on over the past week that are fiber related, mostly knitting and spinning. There might be a sewn object every once in a while, but I've not cracked that open in a while. So I have some whips that I have to talk to you about, and a bunch of acquisitions from Maryland Sheep and Wool and Yarn Centric, and a pre-order that came. So yeah, it is a nice spring day here in Maryland. Cool enough that I can wear a wool sweater or wool t-shirt. So I guess that can be the first thing I'm talking to you about. This is the Ripple Tee by Jessie May Designs. It is a bottom-up sweater with a 3x3 rib and a v-neck, and there's a 3 needle bind off. So I learned a whole bunch of new things. I'd say this would be the second bottom-up sweater I have made. The third being that test that I have not finished. But this was a learning opportunity. Definitely is shorter than I would have liked it to be. But I also was running out of yarn and a whole deal. But otherwise I'm pretty happy with it. I mostly wear high-waisted like pants and shorts anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. But yeah, this is the Ripple Tee. I find maybe it's just the yarn, but the yarn doesn't stay, or like the ribbing doesn't stay like stretched out. It kind of like goes in like that, but that is okay. I knit this in KnitPicks Hawthorne Speckle. I can't remember what colorway it was. And I don't think it's available on their website, but I have seen it on Amazon in the past. So yeah, otherwise I thought it was pretty nice. Once I got through the body, it was pretty fast, like just doing the back and the front and then the sleeves. And yeah, I think it's a pretty nice fit, and I might make another one. So yeah, or at least another one of Jessie's designs. So that is what I'm wearing, and I can go ahead and start on all the whips that I have. Well, the 3 that I actively kind of worked on this week. So my first one is the Lento sweater by Jonna Helin. And as you can see, I didn't get too much done. I just got a little tiny bit. And yeah. Ooh. So I just did like maybe an inch or so on here, and I tried it on this morning, and it is like an inch above my belly button. So I'll probably knit like another 1.5 inches or so, try it on again and see if that is good for the ribbing, and then start the sleeves. And this is knit in Explore Knits and Fibers. They're Denali sock and just Suri lace. I don't think they have like a special name for it or anything, but yeah, that is this guy. Pretty happy with it, and it'll be nice to have a second kind of like lighter gauge or like more open gauge sweater in my wardrobe. I tried it on and it was just so soft, and I can't wait to finish it and probably knit another one eventually. So that is this guy. All right, and then the next one I have is, I think I'm sitting on it. I am sitting on it. That is my half and half wrap, which you have not seen in a little bit. So this is the half and half triangles wrap by Purl Soho. I'm knitting it in the recommended yarn, the linen quill, and the colors are pale mushroom and then rhubarb pink. And I knit this much on it. So like about 2.5 inches. And I have this many rows left. I think it's around 60. So I think I must have gotten around 15 rows-ish done this week. I knit on this on the way to and back from Maryland Sheep and Wool. So that was nice to get a good little chunk of it done. And it definitely is taking longer to do the rows now that they're like, I think this is like about, it's almost like 300 stitches, I think, if I remember correctly. So yeah, I'm only doing 2 modifications. I'm doing a slip stitch edge, and then I'm also doing the German short row in the middle instead of a wrap and turn. But otherwise, everything else is called for in the pattern. And I'm definitely not going to be finishing that second skein. I have this much left. I'd say this is probably maybe like half a skein or so, maybe like 2/3 of it. So I will have a full skein left over, which is totally okay with me. So that is this guy. I will probably try to get some more work on it done this weekend. I don't have any trainings this week, so no just sitting and hanging out while listening to a lecture, unfortunately. And this bag is by Botanical Yarns. I think it was one of her Woolen Folk bags, and I really like it. I like the like fold over like roll top. And I know she has more styles or like more fabrics in this style, so if you want it, I would recommend it. But I will say mine took forever to get here. I think I ordered it in October because that's when Rhinebeck was, and I probably didn't get it until December, so a hot minute. But they are handmade and hand sewn, but that's okay, just like a forewarning. But I also think that these were like in high demand, so maybe it's faster shipping and faster production with less high demand bags. So that's this bag. And then another one that you have not seen in a while, and that is my Lighthouse Keeper pullover. Let me untangle the yarn. I pulled this out again this week, and I think last time you saw it, I was here. So I finished one repeat, and then I started the second. I have finished the like normal raglan increases, and I have just started the compound raglan increases. I'll probably need to go and just make sure that I did it right. So yeah, otherwise it's been a pretty nice knit. It's so colorful and I love it. This is the Lighthouse Keeper pullover by Lindsey Fowler in her Salt and Tide book, I think. I don't think it's for sale independently yet, but she has a whole book. This is one of the patterns. I did 2 modifications. I did a fold over cuff using the barber cord method, and then I also did short rows in it. So as you can see, like the front is a little bit lower than the back, which I think will be nice. I don't really like it when it's like that, but otherwise pretty happy with it. there was definitely some trial and error because I did like the pattern stripe. I did this row wrong a couple times, and then my stitch count was wrong a couple times, so I was ripping back a lot. But I think I am finally back on track, which is good. And this is knit up in Magpie fibers. Their Quartet worsted base and their Plume base. Let me pull out. So Quartet worsted. It is a superwash merino, I believe. And it's American milled and grown. It's, I think, the same mill as Nest. And then their Plume, which is like a mostly cashmere silk core, and this is in the colorway says Chic, which was one of their summer colorways from last year. So that's these guys. Really happy with the color, and I think it'll be really nice when it gets cooler, just to have like this brighter fun sweater. The only thing that I have noticed is that the Plume has some knots in it. Let me see if I can find one. I thought I saw one earlier, unless I'm totally going crazy. Maybe I am. I don't know. So what I've just been doing is I've been cutting the knot out and then just readjusting the yarn, so it hasn't been that bad. Like I did it here, so that's okay. And then the Plume is just really sticky, so I think it'll be fine when I weave in the ends. It'll be interesting to see how weaving in the ends for the Quartet worsted will be, just because it is a superwash yarn and it's very bouncy. So yeah. Oh, and I am knitting this on US size 8 5mm needles, and that'll be what I am doing for a while. I'm really happy with it, so happy to have this out of its little corner that it was in. And I think also because it's kind of a springy color, that also motivated me to pull it back out. So here's that thing that I was telling you about. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but yeah, there's a knot, and I'll just cut it out and then fix it while I'm knitting it. So that is okay by me. A little annoying, but it's not the worst thing that could happen. So that is this guy, and it is just in a New Yorker bag right now because I've been taking it to work. And then I guess I kind of have a finished object, and that is I applied some yarn on my new electric eel wheel. So that is this guy. I am not finished it, so it'll be interesting to see what it'll look like. I'll probably do it not this weekend, but next weekend. But yeah, pretty happy with it. I forgot like which way I had spun the single, but then when I was trying to ply it, it wasn't plying right, so I was like, well, I obviously have to do it the other way. So I spun it Z for the singles, and then the ply is an S twist. So that is this. This is Chameleon Fiber Co. Just a superwash merino. I think it's either 19 or 20 microns, and it is in the vintage colorway. I don't think she has this colorway anymore, but yeah. then, so I finished plying a whole bobbin, or 2 bobbins, and one of them had leftover. And what I ended up doing is just, I think it's like bracelet plying, where you wind up the rest on a cake, into a cake, and then just ply it on itself. Took a little bit. I've done it before, but took a hot second to kind of get it readjusted, because there were definitely some tangles, but otherwise I'd say I'm pretty happy with it. There's definitely some underspun, like that strand right there, but otherwise I'd say it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Not to toot my own horn or anything, but yeah, pretty happy with it. And I think this will definitely motivate me to want to do some more. And yeah, that is my like whip slash finish object that I have. And actually, when I was at Maryland Sheep and Wool, they had Dreaming Robots had a booth, and I was able to try this out because I had not cracked it open yet. So it was nice to try it out and see what it's like. And I spun yarn on their like demo machine. And I think it might have just been the roving, but it was definitely harder to spin on the big guy, but it also takes practice. So yeah, maybe in a couple weeks you will see this as a finished skein, and maybe we can talk about what I'll do with it. So that is that guy. All right, talked about all the things that I've worked on, and I think now it's time for all of the acquisitions. And I guess we can go by day, and we can start with Yarn-centric. So at Yarn-centric, I went to the pre-day thing. It was like on Thursday night. Amy from Libya May came. She did a meet and greet and a talk. I missed the talk, which was so tragic, but I got to meet her, and she was so nice, and my husband met her. So that was lovely. I can put up the pictures that we have of meeting Amy, and yeah, so that was like the first thing that I did. And then I bought some yarn. I did not buy like a whole bunch of yarn. Well, maybe I kind of did. So the first thing I saw was that Ruby and Roses was there, and I've never gotten yarn from her before. I've seen her yarn online, but I'm always hesitant buying like speckly yarn online because it's so hard to tell what it'll look like. So she was there, and I'm also part of Love and Stitches, and she did a special colorway for that. I think late last year. I did not get it, so this was my opportunity to get it, and I did. So I got 2 skeins. I got just a sock, but this one is a stellina. I think you can almost kind of see it sparkling. And then I got a sock set. So this one is the rose gold base, and that is 80% super rush merino, 15% nylon, and 5% stellina, and it comes with 437 yards per 100 grams. And this is the summer wind colorway. And my husband wants these as socks. He'll have a pair of sparkly socks before I do. I think he likes having fun socks because, you know, guys don't really have like crazy socks. So I'll knit up a pair of socks. And this for him, especially since I just finished a pair for him recently. So this is the first skein that I got. And then the second that I got is his sock set. And this is Whispering Pines. And then I think the mini is Candle Wick. It's like a green with some pink speckles. So I think that's really nice. And it's really soft. And this is in her Plump Rose colorway or base, and that's 85% merino, 15% nylon. This one is 400 yards per 100 grams, so it's a little bit thicker than the Stellina base. So that was my first set of acquisitions. Okay, and then I saw Fangirl Fibers. I got yarn from them last year, but I have yet to work it up. So under the guidance of my husband and like in the back of my mind, I was thinking this too. I probably don't need more yarn from them right now. So instead I got a doodle deck. I got the Rhinebeck doodle deck. So it'll be interesting to like play around with this. There's like a bunch of different like color work charts, and then from there you like make a cowl. I know Knitty Natty's done one, and I've seen them on Instagram, and they're really cool. And I think it'll be interesting to knit this. So that is the like second vendor that I stopped by at. And then I got a shawl quantity at Verse Yarns. I remember seeing her last year, and I didn't get anything last year, so I was tempted this year. So what I ended up getting are these guys, and this is with the idea of knitting this into a Vertices Unite. Let me put the colors together. I think we kind of like picked these four to go together, and then this as the kind of like main border and everything like that. So I guess I can go through. This is Eclipse, and it's a blue face luster, 75% blue face luster, 25% nylon, and it's superwash, and it's, I would say, like a lighter fingering. It's 464 yards per 100 grams. I think all of these except one might be the same base. Yeah, so this is that same base. It's called Succulent. It's a nice light green. And then a darker green. It's called Lucky You, spelled like a sheep U, E-W-E. And then I got Azalea, which is like a light pink, and there's like some tiny like micro speckles. I don't even know if you can see it on there. There you go. Just like some tiny speckles on there. And then the last one I got is a different base, and this is called Soft Autograph Soft Autumn, I think, in their autograph. Yes, in the autograph base, and this is a 75% superwash merino, 20% nylon, and a 5% gold stellina. I think you can't really tell on this base because the stellina is almost the same color as the yarn. So yeah, that is all the things that I got at Yarn Centric. So that is this. And I guess just like a thing that I didn't buy, but I got because I went to the event. And I got a bag. It says Yarn Centric, and it has Amy's logo on it. It'll be a nice project bag. Has a little yellow bottom, so that will be nice. Maybe it'll be like a hat or like a summer top project bag, or just like the beginning of a sweater. So that is everything from Yarn Centric. Now I can get into the things that I got at Maryland Sheep and Wool. So the first day, I don't think I really bought anything. The only thing that I think I got was this pottery. It's just so precious. It's sheep with some flowers on it. And then another little trinket dish that's a little sheep in it. And this is from Jane the Potter. And I've noticed that each fiber thing that I've gone to, I've gotten my husband a mug, and there's been a sheep on it. All of the last two. So wanted to continue with the tradition. I got him this one, and then at Rhinebeck I got him a really nice sheep mug as well. And then I think last year's Maryland Sheep and Wool I got him a Clay Monsters mug. I don't know if you guys know about that one. It's this woman I think she's based in Maryland, who makes mugs and like other pottery things that look like monsters, and his is a little monster that smokes cigars because he likes smoking cigars. So wanted to continue with the tradition and get him another mug. So yeah, and this one's like a normal size mug. The Clay Monster one is like this tall. It's huge. So this will be a normal cup of coffee at home. All right, and now onto the yarn that I got. So the first day I only got that, so it was pretty good. And then the second day, which was actually my birthday, I ended up getting 2 like garment quantities of yarn and then 2 braids of fiber from a dyer that I had not heard of before, but we passed by it on the first day and I was just so entranced and I was thinking about it. I found their website and I was looking at our website, so I had to go back. And what I got, it's all on the floor over here. I got like all of this, and 2 of the skeins are already wound up. So, okay. I guess I will talk about this set first. This is, I already have a plan for it, for an Elton pullover, and it's in this like very light purple. The first base that I got, and this is all from Kim Dye's Yarn, and they are a Virginia based dyer. So Kim Dye's Yarn, I got the Flan Fingering base in the color Solitude, and this is a single ply, 70% merino, 30% silk. I've not seen a base like this before, and it's 438 yards per 100 grams. So that will be my Elton, and that is the main color, or I guess like one of the yarns. The other one I got is their Meringue Fluff in the same colorway, and that is their Suri Alpaca, and this is 74% Suri Alpaca, 26% silk, and for 50 grams it's 300 and 328 yards. So that is that, and I think I really only need one skein, but I didn't want to risk it, so I got a second one. So yeah, these 4 will turn into an Elton eventually, and it's just crazy because I know that I've heard that silk is cooling, but it's crazy to feel like it just feels cool in your hands when you touch it. So that is the first sweater quantity, or like garment quantity, that I got. All right, and the next one I got is this, and there's 2 skeins, so I got 5 skeins of this, also because I didn't want to run out for a test that I'm supposed to be doing. And this is a new base for Kim, and this is the Smoothie Fingering. It is a 65% silk, 35% linen, and it's 490 yards, so it's like a light fingering, almost lace. And I got it in the color Bloody Mary, and I'm going to knit an Austelty, which is a test for Sophie from the Knit Purl Girl, and it's like a lace polo that has like a collar and everything. So this will be my test, and I'll probably swatch for it maybe today so I can get started, and it's not due until July, so we shall see. And I was really excited about this. I will say it was kind of hard to wind into a cake, but I eventually got it. Slow and steady wins the race with this. So yeah, that is this one that I got. And then I got, won't see this yet, but I got some fiber from her as well. All the things. And I got 2 things of fiber from her in the same colorway and the same base. It is the Naked Cake. So it's like almost like a grayish base with different colors on it. And I got the Rambouillet silk base, and it is 80% Rambouillet, 20% silk for both of these guys. And it's 4 ounces. So I thought it is pretty nice. So I have 8 ounces of this, and so that'll be like around 200 grams, I think. So maybe enough to like do a color work, something. So that's this one. And then since I got all that yarn, they also kindly gave me a blossom kit. So it has like some soil and some like some seeds. So that'll be fun to put on like a windowsill or something. I don't know what seeds are in it. Maybe let's take a peek. Ooh, it's California giant zinnia. And I love zinnias, so that'll be nice. So that, and this guy, I might get that one started as well. But good thing about this is I just have to make sure I water it. And then the last things I got from Maryland Sheep and Wool are some like progress keepers, beginning of round markers from Wee Ones. I have gotten stuff from her the past couple of years, I think. Last year I got something from Yarn Centric, and this year I got it from Maryland Cheap. So I got some little robins, and at the booth, she was like, if you want a lobster, like if you want a clasp instead of a ring, just let me know. So what I did is I asked for half of them to be rings and half of them to be clasps. So I have multiple options. So I got these guys. And then I got these cute little black chickens. Just so stinking cute. And then she had like a something for the show, which was either a dog or a cat, and it's holding a little crab, and it has little rain boots on. So obviously, since I have dogs, I got the dog. And yeah, it was nice talking to her. She was in the same field as my husband, so they were able to connect. And yeah, these guys. So those are all the things that I got for Maryland Sheep and Wool. And then my order from Long Dog Yarns, the Princess Bride collection, my second giant thing came. Or I guess my first order, but like the big order came. And it came in a big old box. So I won't pull out every single skein of yarn, but I can show you what I got. Just like one of each, I think. So let me grab all of those things. I honestly can't remember everything that I got. There's just not gonna be a whole pile. There's still more. Okay. All right. This is crazy. This is just like one skein of each of the colors that I got. So, all right, for the ones that I think I only got one color or one skein of, that is these guys. So this is from Long Dog Yarns, and this is their merino sock. It is a 75% superwash merino and 25% recycled nylon, 437 yards. And this is You Rush Miracle Man, You Get Rotten Miracles. And then this is Only Mostly Dead. So these are kind of like from the same zine. So yeah, like a goldeny tonal yellow, and then a tonal red that has like some brown variegation in it. So I think I only got one skein of each of these guys to make, I think, a brownstone beanie or like a hat with it. All right, and then some more that I got. I got two things. Okay. And then I got their merino fingering and Suri alpaca lace in Is This a Kissing Book? From the very beginning of the movie. And the merino fingering is a 100% extra fine superwash merino. And then the Suri lace is 65% baby Suri alpaca, 35% lace. And this is 300, they're both 337 yards. And this is just like a blushy pink, like pinky purple almost. Okay, and the other pair that I got is As You Wish. So it's like a beigey base with some brown, pink, and green like speckles on it. And I love how it turned out on the alpaca or on the Suri. Just like very watercolory. compared to this. So I got the merino fingering in this one, and then the Suri lace in the other one. So for those two, I got sweater quantities, which is like 4 skeins. And then the other pair that I got was this pair. I think I showed you guys this colorway before, but this is Never Go In Against a Sicilian When Death Is on the Line, which is from the end of the movie. So that is this. Same bases, same number of skeins. I think I'll have to figure out what to do with all this yarn. And then I know I got a sweater quantity of this one. This is their merino sock again, and this is the Cliffs of Insanity colorway. In the merino sock, which is the 75% merino, 25% sock, or 25% nylon. Trying to look. Okay. I think I only got 1 skein of each of these two. And they're kind of like purplies. This one is ROUS's, which is Rodents of Unusual Size. In merino sock, 75% merino, 25% nylon. It's almost like a brownie purple. Maybe this will end up being a sock or something. So that's this one. And then this one, which is I'm Not a Witch, I'm Your Wife. And it's also in the merino sock. So very purple heavy, which is really interesting. I think I was inspired by Rachel's knitting, but also just I love that movie, so I wanted all of the skeins, and I think I might have all the colors, including my first order. Maybe there's a couple that are missing, but otherwise that is all the yarn that I got. And then the last thing, the final thing, this is going to be such a long video, is my fiber club from Little Fiber Co. So this is April's colorway, and I will change it to black and white now. All right, so this is this month's colorway. It's called Ultraviolet, and this is 100% American Merino in 19.5 microns, and it's 4 ounces. So really happy with this. Very like tonal, but like not in a bad way. So really excited to spin this one up. It'll be interesting because I tried spinning up some merino 2 weekends ago, and I noticed it was just so slippery. And I don't think I had ever noticed merino being slippery before until now, after like working with other fibers. So, I mean, so that was the Chameleon Fiber Co fiber that I was trying to spin up, and that I know that that's a superwash. Oh, maybe it's not. I can't remember. But maybe this merino will be different because it's American. I don't know, but we will see. But I want to get the first. I'm still on January's color, so get that one out of the way and done. I think I'm about halfway done, so we will see. And maybe I'll finish the other half this week and try to ply it up too. So yeah, I think that is finally the end of all the things. I guess one plan that I kind of told you about already is I'm gonna work up the red yarn. I'm gonna work this up into a tee, and I'll probably swatch for that this week. So we will see how that goes. Maybe how I tension my yarn will change how things go, and maybe I won't have to like gauge watch a whole bunch. I also want to hop in because I realized that once I finished recording, I didn't talk about Maryland Sheep and Wool and Yarn Centric. So I had a great time. It was a great birthday weekend. Yarn Centric was really interesting. Just doing it the day before, there wasn't a lot of people, and I think that was like nice to have. And it was nice to be able to talk with the vendors. I don't think I had really done that in the other past 2 years. But I will say the first year it was pouring rain and it was outside, so not really the best setting to kind of like just hang out and talk. But yeah, since I was able to talk to Ruby and Roses, I was able to talk to her husband and kind of like talk about like what it's like to be a dyer and doing shows and stuff like that, and then also talk to Verse Yarns. So that was really nice, and I will definitely be back, especially since it's like my birthday weekend. It's normally like the thing that I like to do for my birthday is go to Maryland Sheep and Wool and go to Yarn Centric, especially since moving here. So yeah, that was Yarn Centric. I got some photos from that I showed a little bit earlier, and Amy was really sweet, and it was really nice to meet her. I definitely felt funny because I didn't like have anything of hers or like wear any of her designs, so that might have inspired me to do something of hers next time. And recently one of my friends actually knit one of the patterns from her neons and neutrals, and it wasn't like a neon and a neutral, so, and it looked really nice. So that might inspire me to maybe not go exactly as suggested in the pattern or like in the book. I can do whatever I want. So that was Yarn Centric. And then Maryland Sheep and Wool. Fun as always. I can post some of the pictures that I took. We love taking pictures of the sheep and seeing the dogs. One of my co-workers, her friend had sheep that she was showing, and she had Icelandic sheep, which is like all the rage right now. So got to see them and got to feed one of them, and that was really fun. And it was really cool to kind of engage in Maryland Sheep and Wool and not just like a knitter perspective, if that makes sense, because my husband likes seeing the more agricultural side of it, and so did my friends, so that was really nice. Spent the first day mainly just like walking around and looking at all of the things, and then took the night to think about like what I actually want and what I want to buy and stuff like that. So that was really nice. And I did not end up winning anything in Maryland Sheep and Wool, but I will say the competition was pretty fierce this year. I think because of the changed like rules that led people to obviously pick their best piece. And there was some beautiful like woven tapestries and some really neat like needle felting. That was really, it's always so cool to see the different like fiber arts that are out there, and there are different like special categories at Maryland Sheep and Wool where there's like the Chesapeake fiber shed and like the shave 'em to save 'em. So I saw the Chesapeake fiber shed winner, and that was, and maybe it was also like the color work winter too. It was a flower in Tarja pullover, and she had done it in some Chesapeake fiber shed yarn, and it was really nice. And I saw the post later and was able to figure out who had done it and complimented her. So maybe an Intarsia sweater will be in my queue, but I have so many other things that I wanted it. But we'll see. I think it'll be nice. And yeah, I was a little disappointed. I didn't want anything, but it's always good feedback from the judges. And yeah, I think the county fair is where I will take the cake this year. And maybe I'll have some new things that I can submit between now and then. Maybe I can submit like those colorwork socks, and then my Uptown pullover, because I didn't submit, because since I finished that after the county fair this year. And maybe I'll have some sweaters I can finish too. Maybe an Elton, since I think that's supposed to be a pretty open cage sweater. But otherwise, that's it. Just wanted to hop in here at the end to kind of talk about all of the things from Maryland Sheep and Wool. And I did actually have a couple acquisitions that I didn't mention, but we can just talk about that next week. So yeah, back to the other Sarah. So that is all the things for this week. Thank you for sitting through this entire video, and if you want to like and subscribe, you can. I really appreciate everything that, or all like the comments that I've gotten and stuff like that. So yeah, otherwise I will talk to you next week, and have a good